Oh, and you know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
So,
Today, July 8th.
nope. Uh,
Today is July 9th. We're just testing the audio quality, video, just getting comfortable being on camera. We're new to podcasting, but highly enthusiastic. Uh, mic check, mic check. I'm extremely fortunate to have a best friend like him, and I'm extremely grateful, like, just be doing something like this, sharing our thoughts, our feelings towards,
You want to talk about feelings?
yeah, we can talk about feelings. Feelings are great. Feelings are something. Sometimes, not to attach it to like a culture or race just in life. Sometimes we're not afforded opportunity to learn emotional regulation. Like we're
Yeah,
not
right.
not taught that we should. We're not taught that our feelings
Valid.
are valid, and our feelings don't have to correlate with our actions. Like you have to. I wasn't taught, or no fault to me, because not having that kind of made me, and sure I did in my daughter's life, but like I didn't have Amari. How are you feeling?
Mm.
Oh, if you say I'm upset or I'm sad, why are you sad? But I've seen the effectiveness of Aria. How you feeling? Sad. Okay. Why do you feel sad? Guiding her through. Well, because you feel sad doesn't mean you have to act sad or talk like a baby. But like feelings are important. But like every feeling you have is valid to yourself, and you should acknowledge it. You should feel it, and you shouldn't let it dictate your actions. And yeah, how about you?
Uh, I want to say I'm glad that you were able to learn that for your daughter. Um, I appreciate that, and I have heard you say that to Arden, and just like acknowledging that, and just everybody like doing better. You know, every generation becoming better than the next. I feel like, as far as like my feelings go, I never understood that like men don't cry type thing,
Yeah.
or men like just like men not expressing their feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Me as a man, I feel like I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. I want to express my feelings. I want to express my feelings, and that's really being a man. Is gonna you doing acting how you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So definitely as I got older, I took more time out to not only be in tune with my feelings because I've always been more so in tune with my feelings than I feel like the rest, but just also being empathetic to other people's feelings, and that's really what I had to work on as far as my emotional intelligence. As far as like, it's not just all about how a colleague feels. It is also about how other people feel, and then on top of not only like feeling my emotions, I've always felt them and been in tune, and just like, I've always openly expressed my emotions. But now, what actions can I take based off of those emotions? What patterns am I creating? Well, when I feel like this, well, this is what I did last time to make me feel like this, or you know what I'm saying? To like go from sad to happy, or to go from angry to calm. You know what I'm saying? To express like those patterns that started that angeriness, and then the patterns that got me out and put me in a better state. So I definitely had to develop that as I got older.
I'm proud and I'm thankful for you sharing that. I would say in this entry, our first one, I would say, you know, everyone that's afforded a chance to listen to this, or even if it's just one. Um,
PSA. Call to action.
this is why you should feel your feelings, because I know it sounds crazy. Feel your feelings. You should actively, feel your feelings, not just the ones that are brought to you or caused by, your reaction to others, but the ones you cause, because a recent breakup made me realize that there's certain feelings that I haven't normalized feeling or practiced feeling because mental blocks or avoidance, but like you know feeling guilty, feeling ashamed, uh, feeling unsatisfied. Like it'll only be it'll only be something you deflect or project if you don't allow yourself to feel it, and then of course responsibly do the action that not correlates with it, but effectively shows that you're dealing with that feeling. So like the more we avoid feelings, talking about it, and when I say talking about it, like talking always starts with thought. So even if it's just you thinking about it, um, just address the feelings you have. Like you just don't have the feelings. Figure out why. Figure out how you feel about your feelings. And there's no right or wrong answer to it, but I feel like
Good feelings,
actively,
right?
yeah, actively addressing your feelings is part of self-discovery. And I feel like we're here to master self so we can help others, have an effect on the world. So like, I don't know, it's a good talk.
So you personally, do you feel like when you bottle up your feelings, it creates an environment where you do deflect or reject, no, deflect or project your feelings on others?
Absolutely.
That's what happens when you bottle up. I feel like with my feelings, a good practice that I started in like 2021. I kind of dabbled and dabbled, but I got very serious about it maybe like a year ago. It's like journaling because somehow, bro, I developed where I get like anxious and worried or whatever. And I feel like I I should probably figure out where that originated. But I didn't have that when I was young. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, like I don't know, I was just don't worry, be you remember don't worry, be happy, probably. You know what I'm saying? And just as I got, I think I know. I'm not gonna say it now. I'll say it.
Okay.
No, I think I know where it came from. Where I became an anxious person. The first time I journaled, it was just an amazing feeling to be able to write down all of those emotions because those emotions were now on this like physical piece of paper. They didn't have to live in my head, and I just had an amazing day for the rest of the day. And I remember I was in the shipyard and I was in the tank, and like sometimes we just in a hole working welding, like no music, no talking. We just by ourselves in like this deep dark hole or whatever. And for 3 hours, I was like, at the end of the 3 hours, I was like, what was I thinking about the whole time? I was like, I can't really recall nothing specifically because like the prior days in that week, like for 3 hours, I would just circulate those same anxious thoughts, that same worry for 3 hours at a time. And the fact that I had like wrote it out the day before, I didn't have to worry about it in the tank, and I could just like have a clear head and be focused.
Let's take that for an example. In that moment, like everyone, like when some people say problems. Let's for this instance change problems.
Did I say problem?
No.
Oh,
Some people, well, I mean, one may say problems. Let's just try to, in this instance, change that to challenges. So when faced with a challenge in life, you either run into it or run from it. So like it may feel easier to bottle in those anxious feelings or to just feel anxious. I feel anxious, so I continue to feel anxious. But like that's a beautiful example. Instead of getting complacent or used to your state of being, he identified that as a challenge. And he ran into it, and even if he identified it as a problem, uh, until he identifies, something in the way of his growth or in the way of his day-to-day productivity or thought process, till he runs to it, I, I assume he's running from it because it'll always be there. Even if you get used to it, it'll be there. So great.
As two black men talking about feelings, and I feel like aspect of masculinity comes into question. And like I said, I've never been afraid to feel my feelings, and we can get into like a conversation about masculinity. But do you feel like I would have been able to do the things the progress I've made with my emotions and emotional intelligence if I kept stereotypes of masculinity, like even like the journaling? Men don't journal. Men don't cry. Men don't feel emotions. Men don't do yoga. Yoga made me feel very at peace. You know what I'm saying? So like, I personally feel like when we break down these barriers of and actually define what true masculinity is versus what a fake masculinity, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that we can better become the highest versions of ourselves, you know what I'm saying, when we actually define um what masculinity really is. Do we need masculinity, healthy forms of it, and healthy forms of it and bad forms of it, you know what I'm saying? Like a bad form. What you think?
I can't give a direct answer to the definition of masculinity.
I can't even.
What I can say is too much of anything is a problem.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I would say, ideally, we like to say in self mastery or in life, We want to have a perfect balance of both. But in my life, I just try to
That's toxic masculinity. That's what it's called.
toxic
That's what I said.
masculinity. Absolutely. To avoid toxic masculinity, I always try to at least allot myself the thought process and time to go, you know, is this a time? Of course, we can carry both energies with us, femininity and masculinity. We can carry them both, but I just feel like when I'm at yoga, maybe it's a time to, and I don't want to say soften up. I don't. That's not what femininity is.
Don't be soft.
Yeah. I look at, I hate to make that comparison. That's so used, but I really do look at it as the logic, emotional thought process, and how action sparks from both. So sometimes you need a mix of both. Sometimes I need to logically think and emotionally think to make a logical and emotional action. Sometimes in yoga, sometimes I need to leave those masculine traits and that could contribute to my ego. That could contribute to um, they could create barriers of of no, they could create expectation of action. Because I'm a man, I need to be masculine, so I can't do this or I must do this, and that stops the feeling like I just feel like it's not. It is about having a balance of both, but it's just knowing in life there's going to be a balance of interaction when you need one, both, or the other, and I feel like it's about knowing when you need to do one or the other.
So, look, check this out.
Mhm.
Some stuff we call masculinity and femininity is maybe just humanity. It's just being
I like
human. It's
that. I
just being
like that. I like
being
that.
human, bro.
Being
I was
human.
just thinking about it, like
Yes.
the yoga, the journaling, the crying, and the, say, oh, that's associated with femininity or masculine. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you thought about it. You said either or. Is it masculinity? It's probably just humanity.
And look how pure that is, because there's so much a deep message in that. Like what he's saying is to be masculine isn't to be or act in the way of a man. To be feminine isn't to be or act in the way of a woman. It's both human. Like if God forbid my mom passed away when I was young, ideally I would hope my dad would learn to nurture us in a way. You know what? For example, my dad ain't have no dad. He had two brothers, one mom. To this day, all his life, he buys my grandma a Father's Day card. Not because he lacked a dad, because in his mindset, becoming a man, becoming a dad, he sees that she stepped up in ways that she never thought she could to play both roles the best she could. And it's not about she was, if she equate to a man. It's about, hey, I saw that there was balance needed here. That my kids needed a feminine mom and they needed a masculine mom. So I tried my best to put efforts into both, meaning whooping their ass, put up in football. I didn't mean to say whooping ass. Put up in football or
And that's an aspect of humanity, right?
exactly. So it's no gender traits associated with masculine and feminine. In my opinion, there may be more. There may be consistent aspects of one for each one. Like you're gonna see more feminine shit with females, but when it comes to balance and the ultimate end, I feel like it's just a humanity thing, like you said.
Yeah, and then a lot of stuff that we think is like being a masculine man or a feminine woman is not even that. You know what I'm saying? If we actually did have to make a list of um, feminine actions, feminine traits, feminine personality, masculine actions, traits, responsibilities, or whatever, the list would probably be very slim. You know what I'm saying? As far as like a masculine man supposed to do this, can only do this. A feminine woman can only do this and is supposed to do this. That list would be very small versus like what we call cooking, cleaning, and like basically like necessities of life that everybody need to do. Like I don't even understand that whole argument of washing dishes and folding clothes. Man. You see, y'all see my clothes over here. Like it's not because I'm a woman. I fold my clothes. It's because I'm a human. I'm a person. I gotta be clean, bro. You make it so niggas. Well, being clean is feminine. Like what? Like what, bro? Really?
Genius, man.
Yeah, really. So,
And I want to say this. I'm not here, and I hope we all understand. I'm not here to validate my thoughts or views. as much as we relate, he has his own views. We're gonna have our own, and we're not here to push them on anyone. This is always
sharing.
just sharing, open to thoughts and opinions. We're open to
Oh yeah, how y'all feel?
yeah, we're open to how you guys
How y'all
feel,
feel?
and we're here to share our thoughts and views in hopes of just advancement, not for you and not just for me, for all of us. Your unique thoughts will aid in changes in our thoughts and vice versa. And we're not looking for validation in our thoughts, and we're not trying to pass our thoughts over to you. Just here to share, to leave behind, before they figure out how to extract it and put it on the chip. They're very close. We want to do the work on our own. We want to do the work on our own because if I left you with all my memories, I really wouldn't be leaving you with insight to why I remember things in a way or what those memories meant to me. So you can see the world through my eyes, but or through my two eyes. I'm trying to aid you and see the world through not even just this eye, just through all parts of me, and not because it's important, because I want to leave that hit behind to in hopes that I don't know, it may change people's way of thinking. It may aid in a new way of thinking or a philosophy or whatever. I just want to do something better than leaving it here or leaving it in the journal, which journal is great. Actually, I'd rather do that too. But yeah, we're out here. I'm out here to teach. Uh, I the older I get and the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything. I can learn all that I will learn in this life, and at the end, I'll still be, it's just it's too much to learn, and it's too much insight that is collected from a unique standpoint based on our unique perception. So it's just I just want to aid in human advancement and the collective conscious. If you align with that thought,
That's all
or
about to say. I was about to say collective consciousness. I was about to say oneness. I remember we had a conversation. I was like, it's really kind of sad that like people can't have conversations anymore without getting offended, without pushing beliefs, without thinking, oh, you're trying to push your beliefs on me, so we're gonna cancel culture. I'm not gonna listen to that. And the fact that like back in the day, people used to be open to many different ideas, and you used to have like whole groups and whole towns of hundreds of people that's just like, we're about to figure out this ideology or this philosophy, and this person's throwing out this, or this person throwing out that, and it's not that anybody is right and wrong or wrong in that moment. It's just the fact that we are trying to advance society because we move in oneness and because we are a collective consciousness. Like the same stuff I'm going through might be the same thing that somebody else going through across the world, or whatever. You never know how it can help somebody resonate with somebody, and that's why you got to chew the meats without the bones. And that's how we advance it. That's how we advance as a society, and that's how we become the highest versions of ourselves.
Ed, I hope you leave feedback. I hope you request questions, leave us questions to answer. And I feel like our biggest goal in this is staying consistent. You know,
Consistency.
yeah, consistency. And I'm thankful for anyone who ever listens, who leaves thoughts and opinions, because it's going to aid in our growth. Aid in our growth. I feel like the world is on a mass awakening, but at the same time, this is spiritual warfare, and
A lot of control going on
mm,
right now. AI, technology, social media, or whatever. And with this artificial intelligence, we have to make sure that we have like natural intelligence. We are like having these conversations. That's how we combat the powers that may be that's trying to control us with the matrix mentality. You know what I'm saying? So,
and then I could tell you personally, just by sitting in front of this camera, it's our first entry. No one has seen this yet, and we have no viewers yet. So already, all that I know is all that God has and the universe has sent to me, or I've seeked out or sought out. Just sitting here, not in an egotistical way, it kind of makes me when I leave here, want to seek out new knowledge to bring back. So it's
Yeah,
such a good cycle. It's such a
definitely do
good
research.
cycle. Already, this is invoking growth in myself, growth in our friendship, and then growth, in this podcast, which ultimately, hopefully, helps us all, bro. It's beautiful. Um, and
How do you feel?
um, something about this feels not right by fact, but right morally. Feels,
Good.
I have this quote that I made up. So I guess it's my quote. Uh,
I remember.
I try to get away from the my I. I'll slip up sometimes. Please call me out for it. Just trying to disconnect from my personalization or entitlement to things of self ego. But I did say this, and I can't say I said this because I don't claim all my thoughts. You know, they, I'm a channel of thought. So, but this came to me, and I thank God and the universe for it. Knowledge isn't meant to be safeguarded; it's meant to be shared. So, this feels right. And when I say knowledge, knowledge isn't always insight; it's experience. It's learning from experience. So, just sharing insight and experience. Uh, Even though my life is unique to me, but we often learn things through our unique experience, but we learn the same thing. So this feels right. It feels good. Makes me feel, it's a lot of entitlement in today's society, and no fault to the world or anyone, but that is something that I think I see, and I don't feel entitled in front of the camera, but it makes me feel famous.
Yeah, ain't nobody watching. You said, "Oh, you feel there? It's only us here."
Watching me, watching me. I'm watching
Oh,
me
you
right
you
now.
your biggest fan.
Yeah,
You your biggest fan. I like
it
it.
was
I like
good.
it. That's what's up.
Like I can see me as I record this, and it makes me feel good.
Hey, mama, I'm on TV.
Hey, mom. Hey, brother. Hey, dad. Can't wait to post this and you guys see it. My mom means the world to me.
Hey, bro. To mama.
Mom, you mean the world to me.
Hey,
We don't always get. Oh, say one more time.
Hey, Miss Juanita.
We don't always get along, and it eats me up inside. But I want you to know, it's inexcusable that I don't take the efforts to fix it immediately because I don't know if it's gonna be here tomorrow or if I'm gonna be here tomorrow. But if this is the last thing I could ever say to you, if it was down, I would just apologize for not being the best son I could be, and I would just thank you for all that you've done for me, my brother, your granddaughter, and you're the best. To all my siblings, Isaiah, Lennox, Layla, Lillian, you're greatest. To Miss Keisha, my stepmom, Eric, my stepdad, everybody, whole family, and I had to save not the best for last. But Dad, we made it. I love you. And baby girl, Aria, Daddy sorry, Daddy loves you. By hero, Lorraine, take me back one day. We're gonna edit that out.
I just want to say, what about you? I love my mama too. And I didn't listen to a lot of stuff that she said when I was younger. It was very beneficial. She pushed me to do a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do. It definitely aided me in being the man I am today, and just doing what's right. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I definitely didn't appreciate a lot of stuff that she was telling me. This is what I didn't say earlier. My mom really taught me how to live for the world. My dad taught me how to live for myself. So maybe that's why I didn't appreciate her advice, because it was always, well, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what society does. You know what I'm saying? Whereas my daddy, he taught me like critical thinking and just being aware of myself and stuff like that. Versus my mama was like, clean your room tight. You know what I'm saying? But that comes in handy as far as cleaning your room, being organized, being punctual, being responsible, being disciplined. My dad kind of taught me a little bit of that too, but my mama was really like on point about doing what's right in society. You know what I'm saying? Like my mama kept me on point. I got a good one. And then after I graduated, she
Absolutely.
yeah, I got a good one. After she
Hey, Miss Cornett.
after I graduated, she turned up. So she was after I got out of the house, she said, I raised you. Now she out having a ball.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
I appreciate y'all too.
And Mom, I just couldn't wait to get out the house for
Bro,
a
you
bit.
gotta go take the tap for Mom.
No, I forgot to add this, bro. I'm sorry.
Say,
You know what, Mom? We'll just talk to person.
I'm about to say,
What else we forgetting?
wrap it up. We need an outro.
Yeah, outro.
Give me a
I'm gonna let him lead the outro, and I'll just finish in a quick prayer. Y'all cool with
check it wrong.
Y'all know what
Back in the
that
days on the
Boulevard of Legend.
They used to get routines in the president's bed.
It was I.
Abstract.
Be the 5-footer.
I'm the 5-footer.
Oh yeah, you were. It was me. The abstract.
Me the 5-footer. I guess in my style, so because more the French footer.
Yo, Fife, you remember that routine that we used to make spiffy like mystically?
A tidbit. A smidget.
I
If you don't get the message, then you better run this video back.
You better run this video back. And in prayer, we quick. God, and God, thank you for all beings of benevolence and love and light. Thank you for giving us another day to exist, to learn, to serve ourselves, to serve others. Thank you for all that you are. Thank you for the oxygen plants provide. Thank you for clean water, access to food. Thank you for families. And God, I ask that you bless those or anyone who is without those, for we know you will provide. And I thank you for all the challenges in life because they grant opportunity to change and grow. And I ask that you continue to guide us and bless us and open our hearts. In your name I pray, amen.
Amen.
This was a good one.